EA Sports. It's in the game.
EA Sports is proud to present PGA Tour coverage. Today we're here at Chambers Bay in University Place, Washington. Rich Lorder alongside Frank Nobilo for EA Sports, set to bring you all of the action. Frank, what can you tell us about this golf course?
We've got a big golf course in front of us today. Robert Trent Jones II designed this golf course really to fit in with these marvelous surroundings. But consequently, we have like what I would call almost an inland links. It's going to play like that. Ideally, you'd like to play this golf course through the air, but it's very exposed to the elements. Game's about rhythm. When you have good rhythm, it just looks effortless. To hit the ball 300 yards through the air, that easy. That's beyond long.
That is a sensational play right there, and you have to think that the little helping breeze gave that a nice boost.
He can't be that good.
Now the game's #1 player, Rory McILROy, ready with his approach. Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. On the green, and a chance for birdie here on the first hole. This one just requires a little bit of focus.
Can't birdie them all, Rich.
Not a gimme, but well within his range. Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. So with that, 1 over par. Ready to tee off here at the second. Frank, what's it all about?
Well, you hit your tee shot here through the dunes, Rich, not overly long, just under 400 yards. The bunker on the left really shouldn't be a problem. Just avoid the dunes on the right and left. Long and straight.
That's how you do it. That is tasty looking right there, Frank. Just a perfect spot in the fairway.
That is prime real estate. How do you get a lie like that? Seriously, you could hit any club from that.
Let's see what McIlroy does now with his second. I mean, really on top of his game right now. That was a splendid approach shot. He can really get red hot with a putter. Let's see what McIlroy does. That's a sign of a good player right there. You make bogey, disappointed right out of the gates, but you come right back and make birdie. At the third tee now, Frank, and what are we staring at here?
This green is anything other than symmetrical, so be very, very cautious on where the flag is. Anything in the middle of the green you can putt to the corners. Well, if you can call them corners, more like ragtails, but beautiful par 3.
Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
Good, clean contact and a nice result. And a chance for birdie coming up. Frank, this would be a nice way to jumpstart the round.
Yeah, his momentum can quickly go in the right direction if he makes this.
That's a birdie for McILROY. He's just so explosive. Frank, standing here on the 4th tee at Chambers Bay, you can see what this golf course is all about with those dunes on the left and all that sand down on the right. A lot of trouble here.
Yeah, first hole, Rich, really that bends to the right, but if anything, you want to keep the tee shot down the left side. It's going to give you a better angle to the green. And unlike the 2 previous holes, this fairway slopes to the other direction, to the right.
And now it's right in his wheelhouse. Good position where he can attack the pin.
Yeah, he has all those options now. That ball's sitting up, you can bring it in high, you can bring it in low. The choice is yours.
Frank, I think that's going to the bunker.
Looks like it.
Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good third shot, maybe get away here with par.
All right, so greenside bunker. What's he looking to do with this shot, Frank?
Well, really you have to look at the amount of green you got to play with. You don't have to try and fly the ball right by the flag. Allow it to run. Plus, if you can get it to run like a putt, you never know, it might just go in.
Okay, good shot on the dance floor. Just 5 feet left. -1 for the day. Well, Frank, here at the 5th, and I'm not sure about my chances at a hole that's called free fall. I mean, are you kidding?
Well, should be free fall for you, that's for sure, and free fall for a lot of people playing it today. Hole looks straight away, but you'll see it starts to pinch in, that fairway that is, by bunkers left and right, and those bunkers come in exactly where you're trying to hit your tee shot.
Nice drive, right in the fairway, and a good swing on that one. Now the approach shot here at the 5th hole at Chambers Bay, and how difficult is this?
Well, it looks straightforward, but the second shot, once again, just semi-blind. You've got to be very aware of that little central bunker that's just short of the green. You're either going to have to go over it or around it.
Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
Always 2 components to the long lag putt, the speed, number 1, and then the read. And missed out on that second part. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Nice par to remain 1 under. Ready to tee off here at the 6th. Frank, where are you looking to land the ball off the tee here?
Well, as long as it's not in the rough, the bunkers, well, there's no trees here, really. That little green strip, that runway down there. Another hole that bends to the right, but find the fairway. The fairway's wide enough. You've got a pretty good idea exactly where you want to go. And once again, this is one of the shorter par 4s. So good drive here, just a short iron in.
Good tee shot, right in the fairway, and plenty long. Frank, what do you think about this approach here at the 6th?
Well, one of the few greens here that's protected on both sides, rather narrow green, and you can see really what happens if you miss. Bunkers left and right, plus there's a couple of ridges, so club selection is important here.
That's well played. Now a good look at birdie. Makeable putt right here. He is currently sitting at 1 under for the round. Ooh, so close. Well, that would have been a bonus had it gone in, but still, reasonable chance for par here.
Yeah, there's no damage. You're not going to birdie every hole.
Good effort, just didn't drop. So with that, the score is now at even par. On the 7th tee now, it is over 500 yards from the back tee.
Yeah, this is called humpback, and you can see why. There's all those mounds and undulations between you and the hole, plus all that amazing bunkering down the right side. All to be avoided, really. If you can do that, then you get a decent look at this green. But yeah, you've mentioned it, 500 plus yards. It's going to play longer than that uphill.
Just a solid shot here at number 7, right where you want to be. Well, he's going to have to hit the same club a lot harder or just hit another one. So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now he'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. Let's see if he does it here.
Solid play, heart of the green. Needs this for par. That is a painful bogey at the 7th hole. Lost that mini battle right there on that hole with a bogey and slips to 1 over par. Now to the 8th and a long par 5, Frank.
Fortunately, there's no bunkers, just the dunes either side. The hole looks a little narrow off the tee, but get down there, you're going to realize that's a fairly generous fairway. There's a little bit of mounding in this green, too, that actually slopes it back towards the player. So use that to your advantage.
What a drive. Just tattooed that. And now the second shot here at this par 5. Frank, as we get set for this approach, what does our featured player need to do to regain some of that early round magic?
First, a bit of advice, really. Take a deep breath. Make sure all those bad thoughts get out of your mind. After that hot start, we all know they can play better than this, but they need to relax first of all and then let their game take over again.
And it makes the green in regulation. Back to par for the round. Rounding out the front side here at Chambers Bay with a par 3, the 9th.
Well, the tee is nearly 100 feet above the level of the green, so you can see everything. This is one of the best views on the golf course. A fairly lengthy par 3. Obviously it's stout, just over 200 yards, but you can see the green off that elevated tee, and this requires your best shot.
Not a huge miss, Frank, but did lose this just a little to the right.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to catch a piece of the green, though.
Well, that's how you play the game right there. Knock it on the green and give yourself a good look at birdie.
Ooh, chance for birdie, birdie. Give me a break, Rich. Your mum could make that.
Ooh, that's a disappointment, Frank. Rory McILROy looking to take advantage with this putt. Routine stuff for Rory, that's a par. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo playing Chambers Bay out in the state of Washington in the great northwest of the United States. Frank, let's take a closer look now at the 10th hole.
Well, you can see where you've got to go by virtue of the dunes left and right. This is one of the few greens that is well bunkered around, so you can see it short, short right, short left, and there's another little bunker just on the left side. So it's a tricky little second shot coming in here.
A great way to start a hole, nicely placed in the fairway. Getting set for another approach, our featured golfer really looks dialed in at this point.
Yeah, right now this is a great feeling to have as a golfer. Your swing's good, the timing, it's almost like it's just completely natural. You don't have to think. The swing is exactly where you want it to be. So really you're just looking at the flag in front of you.
Birdie chance here. Very long putt, though.
Got to be a little careful if it gets away on him.
That may have been a bit too much to ask for there, that distance putt, Frank.
Yeah, it's fine to be greedy before you hit the putt, but after you've hit it, 2 from that distance is fine.
Trying to move on with a par in his pocket. Did the job right there. Getting set to tee off at the 11th hole, long par 4, 537 yards. Frank, how do you play this hole, with a bazooka?
Yeah, try and take that June out of play, that's for sure, in the middle of the fairway. Bunkers down the left are more for scenic rather than, they're not really problematic for the player off the tee. Just, as I said, hit it over that June, and then really there's a ridge in the middle of the screen, so you've got to be on the right level.
Excellent start off the tee. That's a great way to begin this hole. The 11th hole, Frank, what's ahead here?
This is another green that's sort of sloped. There's a lot of little slopes in this green here, plus the green angles from right to left. So it just depends on whether that second shot that lands. You've got to be well aware of what you're landing on. If you're landing on a downslope, it's going to kick forward. Obviously, an upslope, it's going to stop that much quicker.
Locked in on the read and the speed. That's a head scratcher, no other way to put it. That close to the green and misses it badly to the right.
Even par currently.
Tough bogey right there, moves to 1 over par. Measuring 311 yards, the 12th, Frank, seems to offer an opportunity for a player to do something pretty dramatic here.
Yeah, it's called the Narrows. Really, it should be called the Temptation, because what player stands on a tee knowing he can reach and doesn't take up the gauntlet?
They'll be happy with that. In the fairway, now a good chance to attack this hole. Let's see what the dominant #1 player can do. Rory McILROY now on the approach shot. Birdie try up next. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Well, there's an opportunity wasted.
Just knock it in for a par, and let's forget about this one. Golf is not about perfect, but it's going to hurt the cause.
13th hole now, it's a dogleg right, par 4. Frank?
But at 534 yards, you need an eagle eye, which is the name of the hole, to find exactly where you want to hit this. Doglegs to the right. There is a fairway that's plenty wide to accept a good tee shot. And then from there on in, it's actually a relatively straightforward second shot, providing you can miss that bunker that's just short in the middle of the green.
Frank, quite a bit to consider here at the 13th.
Yeah, there's little knobs on the left and the right side of this green, so that bunker you can see, at first it looks like you've got to avoid it. Well, you've really just got to carry it.
In the bunker, still with a chance for an up and down. Well, we've seen this before today, in the bunker. You know how to play this shot, Frank, right? You keep your chin up, you look down your nose at the ball, you have to pick it cleanly, and keep your head still. All right, the winds are starting to pick up. Frank, you've played in conditions all over the world. What's the right way to approach it?
Well, you've really got to find out, first of all, the direction of the wind, and you have to be certain of it right now. And plus, if there's a gust, that's something you can't, you've got no control over.
He has a 12-footer here.
Well, for such a strong man, weak putt.
Now I'll have to make this just to avoid making Michael Dublé. Settles in over the putt, so 2 over par for the round. Frank, now to the 14th hole, and this is the 5th consecutive par 4 here at Chambers Bay, and by this point the players will know whether they're on their game or off their game.
At 546 yards, this hole can be shortened considerably if you choose to take a brave line down the left side. You can chew off as much as 70 or 80 yards. But once again here, because the hole bends to the left, you've really got to know which direction that wind is coming from.
Good tee shot, right in the short grass. All right, Frank, what's the play into the green here?
Well, the green's got a little bit of a funnel effect. General contours slope right to left, and towards this green there is a little bit of a ridge and some mounding, short right. But just use those in your favour. The ball's going to do what Mother Nature wants it to do. You don't have to fight it.
Midway through this back 9, could use this birdie here at the 14th. Sitting right now at 2 over par for the round. Did a nice job with that putt. Good read, good speed. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. It happens sometimes, Frank. They don't all drop.
No, but you try telling him right now.
Trying to limit the damage here. This putt is for bogey. Not his best effort right there. That's a bogey, and now 3 over. At last, Frank, a break from those long par 4s. We just played 5 par 4s in a row. Now the par 3 15th.
And also, as you can see in the distance, you can actually see a tree, one of the few that are on the golf course. Hence the name of 15, it's called Lone Fir. Not overly long, just a little short hole. But in the US Open, obviously they can play it at around 250 yards. It's just a fun par 3. But check where that flag is, because sometimes 3 is a good score here. But an easy flag position, and then go straight at it.
Second shot, good look at the green. Nice approach shot. He'll be happy with that. Three over for the day. Now to the par 4, 423 yards, 16th hole. What's the right play, Frank?
Fairway first. Once again, you'll see the slope of the fairway from the left to the right side. It means move your aim down that left side. It'll make this fairway appear that much bigger. And of course, then when you hit into this green, you're really going to have to flight that second shot properly. This is like a tabletop green.
Beautiful looking shot right here. Let's see what McILROY does now with his second.
This one just inside 30 feet. Well, certainly you wouldn't call that close.
On the computer, it registers at 29 feet. Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
And getting ready for the putt. Good work right there. He'll settle for par. Frank, you don't need just a caddy out here at Chambers Bay. Seems like you need a sports psychologist. You start thinking about the names of these holes. Beached at 16, and what's 17 called?
Derailed, and you can see why too. That green's perched up there. If you've got the round going in the wrong direction, this is not a hole to start on. So if you've got a run going, it's just a good tee shot that lands around the front there, and you just take a 3 here. This is not a time to be a hero.
How good was that, Frank, from the rough?
Oh, that's amazing. That's a masterclass in short game.
10-foot putt left. Okay, that's par. 3 over for the round. Now to the 18th hole. Frank, everyone wants to finish in style.
Yeah, the home hole here, once again, you head back to just a wonderful view, and you realize that Chambers Bay was designed as a walking golf course, and it was designed to have fun and test every department of your game. 18 will do that. It probably gives you more trouble on both sides of the hole than any other hole on the golf course.
Not missing by much today, but enough to again be in the bunker. Frank, just a slight miss off the tee. He's in the fairway bunker.
Yeah, just really got to pick the right club once again. Sometimes you take a little bit more club out of the fairway bunker, choke down.
Second shot. Out of the sand and back on the fairway.
Yeah, good shot. Just really utilized that little bit between the ears. Realized he couldn't reach the green and instead opted for fairway.
Frank, you want to finish with one good swing here, the approach shot to the 18th hole.
I don't think there's a flat putt on this green, Rich. There's so many different sections. We said the course was like a maze. This 18th green can be like a maze. If you're on the right portion, then obviously that certainly helps. But there's so many different levels to this green. It's at sneaky distance.
Frankie took plenty of time on this birdie putt. He looked at it from 3 different angles. He forgot one very important ingredient.
Yeah, pace. You can definitely fall in love with the line, even with approach shots as well, but obviously we see it more on putting.
Frank, this was our first trip to Chambers Bay here in the state of Washington, and it provided a stunning and dramatic backdrop for the national championship for the U.S. Open.